Good morning, I'm David Baratoux. I'm working for the French National Research Institute for Development since 2014. I would like first to thank Richard Damora for inviting me to talk about space-related activity in Africa in this panel discussion. I regret that I'm not able to be present and had to record this talk, as I'm currently working at the Pygmy Observatory in the Pyrenees and will be traveling back to Toulouse at the time of the panel discussion. This reminds me that a few months ago I was here at the Pygmy Observatory with François Collat, a French astronomer, and Salma Silla, the first PhD student in astronomy of the University Cheikh Anta Diop in Senegal. How does a young Senegalese woman get a chance to work at this professional 1-meter telescope of the Pygmy? Let me first start with this story. I'm now based in Toulouse in France. I spent 4 years and a half in Dakar, Senegal, from 2014 to 2018. My background is planetary science, the exploration of the bodies of the solar system. I was involved in several missions to Mars, including, for instance, the Mars Express mission, which returned a global map of the mineralogy of the surface of the red planet. I am also a geologist. When I arrived in Dakar, I met several students and researchers who were struggling to live with their passion for astronomy and space science. There were no other planetary scientists than me based in Senegal at the time. Even if the purpose of my visit here was more to supervise students in geology than future planetary scientists, I could not ignore this high level of motivation. And I soon realized that I could help with the development of research and higher education in this field. I met more and more African scientists who had made great achievements and made incredible efforts to promote planetary and space science in their country. There were several important and decisive steps in that period of time, such as the launch of the African Initiative for Planetary and Space Science in 2017. This initiative started with a group of 30 researchers and is now a great network of research projects across the continent, with PhD students pioneering this field of research in their respective country. This initiative also aims to build a new network of African researchers in planetary and space sciences to share their experience and difficulties and to be organized and ready to make ambitious proposals. But let me talk about one special event which took place in Senegal and will remain a model and source of inspiration for the way forward. In January 2019, the spacecraft New Horizons, launched by NASA, reached the most distant object ever explored by humankind, Baratoux, beyond Pluto. Did you know that Senegalese astronomers contribute to the success of the flyby? Indeed. New Horizons leaders contacted the office members in 2017 to discuss if an observation campaign could be made in Senegal in preparation for the flyby. The idea was to observe a stellar occultation by Baratoux to adjust the trajectory of the spacecraft. A stellar occultation is like a solar eclipse, but for a distant star. It is a rare event. One occultation was expected to take place in Senegal in August 2018, the last one before the flyby, the last occasion to check and adjust the trajectory of the spacecraft by measuring the exact position and time of the occultation. 21 telescopes were deployed across the country and 21 Senegalese scientists were trained to use the equipment and participated to the observation. This observation of the occultation in Senegal, in collaboration with NASA and French astronomers, was an important step for the country. It received a wide media coverage and it represented a source of inspiration for young Senegalese. Being now at the Pygmy Observatory, I could make a comparison with the contribution to the Apollo program. The exceptional quality of images of the moon acquired here were helpful to map the moon in support of the Apollo program. The observation made in Senegal for Baratoux with the participation of Senegalese scientists were also important for the success of the flyby of this object. Salma Silla was one of the Senegalese participants, and a PhD project followed new trajectories after this event. She received the joint support of the Ministry of Research, Higher Education and Innovation of Senegal and of the French Embassy in Dakar. And with this support, she was able to travel to France and become the first Senegalese student and women to work at the Pygmy Observatory. An important first take-home message can be delivered here. I believe that the strategy to collaborate with space agencies worldwide with ground-based observation is an interesting one for countries who have not yet a long history in planetary and space sciences. This facilitates the inclusion of an international network of researchers. More important, I believe that Senegal is now ready for future observation campaigns like this one. Of course, they still need equipment, financial support, and infrastructures, but they know they can do it and they will do it again. This is just an example, and I know there are many other stories like this one, and the recent review of development in astronomy published in Nature Astronomy illustrates the growing number of initiatives and institutional development in this domain, from the ESCA in South Africa to the Okamden Observatory in Morocco and the Entoto Observatory in Ethiopia. Another important strategy in the way forward is training via astronomy, planetary science and space science, a new generation of scientists who can address the challenge and pressing issues of African countries, including managing natural resources or mitigating the effect of climate change. We are not training master and PhD students to become all astronomers or planetary geologists. We are training them with tools and fundamental knowledge that are useful in many areas of engineering and science. The new European project RISE 5A for astronomy and astrophysics arising across Africa is an ambitious project just limited this year to the European Research Council. The four objectives of this project is strengthening and broadening the research expertise in astronomy and space sciences via Africa-Europe research collaboration, the building of common Europe-Africa human capacity for young and experienced researchers via the physics of planets, the sun, the stars and galaxies, the building of a novel Africa-Europe network of local and remote telescopes, and the promotion of the scientific method for the general public, and inclusion in science, technology, engineering and mathematics through outreach and education events. This project makes clear how training in these research fields may serve other areas of applied research or research for development. I like a lot, for instance, the article written by John Mustard from the Brown University in US in the Journal of Geophysical Research Planets and entitled From Planet to Crops. This document illustrates, based on its own experience, the synergy between development in planetary sciences and development in remote sensing application of the Earth. To quote him, arriving where we are today in the use of remotely sensed data in the solar system has been a continually evolving synergy between Earth observation, planetary exploration, and fundamental laboratory work. It is also confirmed with my own experience. I currently supervise a PhD student who is pioneering research on ESA Sentinel data to address issues with the regulation of artisanal mining activity in Senegal. She is now able to monitor the impact on the environment of this activity as a function of time, and is developing tools that could be helpful for government agencies for the regulations and monitoring of this activity, occurring often far from the main cities. Fundamental knowledge and tools of the planetary scientists in remote sensing and data processing were obviously useful here. To conclude, public outreach and presentation to the public of the fascinating discoveries made in our solar system is extremely important. It is also extremely important to communicate in Africa about the discoveries involving African scientists. There is also a plan to contribute and fill this gap with the launch of a new journal entitled L'Astronomie Afrique. It will be in French at first, with the cooperation of the French Society of Astronomy. The launch of this journal will take place in fall 2020 and has already a page on social media to prepare the launch. Thanks again for giving me the occasion to share my enthusiasm and optimism about the development of planetary and space science in Africa. And I wish you all great discussions. Please note also that I do have planned to come back to West Africa soon with another long-term period at the University Félix Houphouët-Boigny in Abidjan in Ivory Coast. Thank you.